Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. I hope everyone has enjoyed their week. We're coming up on another weekend. It just felt like we just finished our weekend. I had technically a long weekend. Many of you may have had a long weekend as well, but the week has gone by very quickly. It is a very late Thursday night. I will probably be going into a little bit of Friday morning recording this, but hey, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't doing that. But before we proceed, like, subscribe, follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, and Instagram, TikTok at the Red Devils Corner Kick Pod, and on X at RD Corner Kick Pod. It is international break this week and most of next week. Our next match isn't until March. March. That's far away. September the 14th against Man City, the first derby of the year. So obviously we do get news every day of Manchester United. Sometimes it can sound repetitive. Some of it has been the fallout of the end of the transfer window. A lot of low back, but not going for a midfielder or signing. Different news outlets, you're hearing different reports of who Manchester were trying to target at that time. We were trying to go for Conor Gallagher from Atletico, and then we were also looking at there's a news report that just came out today talking about Semenyo from back in March, where Man United tried to recruit him. But you're going to get a bunch of different reports. Today, reports of Harry Maguire being offered to Saudi clubs. So far, from what I'm hearing, they've been declined. Looking to next year potentially for the move. It is what it is. We're going to hear those speculations. The Saudi transfer window doesn't close for another 19 days. 18 days, technically the 23rd. So there's still going to be moves there. There's still Turkey, which is going there as well. But there are always moves. Obviously, the topic of this week has been Andre Onana potentially leaving, especially with the report coming out what he was wanting to do in the summer, trying to get a pay raise. Yeah, obviously, you're not worthy of the pay raise after what happened with Grimsby, so that's not going to be happening anytime soon. So he could be potentially going out on loan. There's talks of Inder potentially going because, again, we signed Sonny Lamens. He has just joined the club. So we have 4 keepers. Heaton's not going anywhere. We don't want Inder to go. So obviously, lucky number 4 is going to be Andre Onana. And Ruben Amorim has set the tone. He's told him what he's expected to do with the club. Obviously, things are not working out well for him. So he's looking at going to a potential club in Turkey. There has been talks of Saudi clubs interested in Onana, but nothing's budging. And obviously, before the Grimsby match, there was the news of West Ham interested in Onana. Grimsby match happened. West Ham removed themselves from the transfer. So obviously, things did not go well for Onana. But it is... There's still going to be more going on. Yes, the fallout, like I mentioned, has been happening. The midfielder. I did mention it on Monday's episode, that I think they were waiting, like from reports that I was hearing, especially with Brighton, they want to make sure the relationship is professional and they're not trying to push it where they may lose out on Baliba. There's also news reports of may go in for January or for next summer. And I also mentioned too is we do have midfielders. Like technically Bruno, Casemiro, Ugarte, Mainu, you have 4 of them there. And if they made a new midfielder, one of them would have to go. And also there's a lot of hands in the cookie jar and you can't please all of them. So someone's got to get moved. Obviously Ugarte's been starting off at the bench. Casemiro will probably not be happy that he's moving to the bench. So I think there might have been a difficult situation of trying to manage. And like I also mentioned too, next summer, I think January and next summer is going to be the focus just on midfield alone. We may look for another keeper for depth, some center backs. We're going to have to spend the summer replenishing. But next summer is going to be the summer of where we're going to be building that midfield, to say the least. Collier should be back. Mainu should still be with us. Saku Kone is looking to potentially debut this season, potentially. Obviously, still recovering from the fracture, from the head injury that he suffered in a match 3-4 weeks ago. So he's not fully ready to be back, but there's potential for him to be that including piece that we're looking for. I've seen news reports today about him. So next summer or January will be the time of focusing on building that midfield. And it also depends on how we are positioned. Like, don't get me wrong, we're first 3 games in, and I know everyone's happy that we're in the top half, but it's a 38 game season here, folks. We're going to be facing some battles again. We have Man City next Sunday. We have Chelsea the week after that. We have Liverpool a month after that. We have Brentford and we have Sunderland after the Chelsea match. So we have ourselves a struggle. So was it 3 of the top 5 from last year we're facing in the next 6 games. So it's going to be tough. Like, we're in a tough situation. So depending on what's going on in January, we may get a new midfielder. So we may make that push. So just be patient with that. It's going to come. Like, as much as we wanted that perfect transfer window, it was never going to happen realistically. And like I said, we have already enough midfielders, though they may not be the best. There's too many hands on the cookie jar to try and adjust and make things better. Because again, with no European football, there's just too many mouths to feed, and that's where the struggle is. So either you get them all sent out on loan, which I know Casemiro won't want to do, Ugarte won't want to do. Mainu was pushing to go out, but we need Mainu because we put Collier out on loan. He's at West Brom, so we won't be seeing him until next summer. So, and hopefully the development of Saku Kone does come up. So we have to, be patient and wait. So, and I know that's always been, I know I've said that a couple times today, but it's the truth. We have to wait. And the one thing that's driving me nuts this week, listen, I'm Amorim in, and I've titled an episode saying Amorim must stay. But like, I know it's a down week with international break and World Cup qualifiers, obviously. So if you have your country that you support, good luck to them this week. Myself, Portugal is playing on Saturday. They're playing Armenia, so I'll be watching that match. Canada obviously is qualified already for the World Cup for next year, but like, you're going to have your country support your team this weekend. So good luck to all those that are in their qualifications. And again, and hopefully all your players come back healthy. For us, obviously Bruno's away, Ahmad, De Ligt is on their way. Delo was out for that. He is now returned. Mbuemo, Onana, they're out as well. We've had a few. Technically, only one is playing for the England squad. That's Rashford, who's on loan. That's kind of the reason why Mason Mount was pushing to get out, so he can get playing time and be participating in the World Cup. So, I understand why he's upset and why he wants this. I get it. But he's going to get his minutes. I'm not going to go into a rant about this, but going back to what I was going on earlier on, about Ruben Amorim, it's a downtime for Manchester United. Obviously, we're trying to get players healthy. Mateus is trying to get healthy. Delo, who's now added to this, getting healthy. We want Mason Mount healthy. So we have injuries, but at this time too, it kind of is beneficial because, as much as I just mentioned the too many mouths to feed, we have that option here. So yes, losing Mateus, Mount does suck, especially on the attack, especially when that 3 has been working well with Mbuemo, Mateus, and Mount. So is this an opportunity where Šeško, who is out playing for Slovenia right now, is he returning? Does he get the opportunity to start? Ahmad will probably be fixed at the right wing back with Delo not coming back for a bit. You have Dorgu. As much as we have Mazraoui returning, you can move him to the wing, move Ahmad to the 10, him and Xerxes, and then Sheshko there, or you can have Manu starting and Bruno, and then you can do a false 9 type scenario, or you have Xerxes starting, Ahmad and Bruno, and so on and so forth. It's going to be hard to predict what the squad's going to be like next week because of international break and players who are playing. So they come back on games. Some games are on Tuesday. Bruno should be back on Wednesday. I got to take a look at the others who are playing, especially for the UEFA, but most of them should be back Wednesday, Thursday next week. So some of them may have rest. Some of them may just jump right into training. So it's just a matter of, but I'll talk about that next week. But going back, yes, it's a down week, international break. Ruben Amorim has been the discussion. And like I mentioned earlier, the fallout of Monday's transfer deadline and the blowback. Fan channels talking about sacking. Fan channels are now talking about, where does he go from here? How does the squad improve? What's the best scenario for this squad? You're definitely seeing the news outlets talking about what's best for Amorim. There's people, again, the manager replacement discussions have been there. I saw something earlier today as well. Like, we're always going to have manager out, manager in discussions. Again, I've always supported Ruben. I believe what he can do. I believe to back him. This nonsense of, if he doesn't get anything, he'll be gone before Christmas. No, that is the dumbest fucking thing ever. It takes forever. I almost said it doesn't take forever. It does take time to build a culture, to remove what was there and what you want to replace and build up from. Last year was the truth about the squad. The eyes wide open and boom, here we are. The difficulty. So here, it's got to crumble before we got to remove the crumbles before we can start getting that foundation there and start rising it, start building up from that foundation. The bomb squad, majority of them are gone. Whether they're going to be gone next year, that is the question. Sancho's out on loan. Anthony's gone permanently. Rashford's out on loan. And Garnacho has been sold. Malacia is there. So we're just waiting to see what happens with Malacia. Hoyland is gone as well. I don't think he'll be returning next summer, but he is gone. So we'll see. So we have 6 players potentially gone. Onana could potentially be gone. That'll be 7. It's going to take time to build. And you can't do it in one summer transfer window, a winter transfer window next year. It's going to take a couple of seasons. And listen, we're seeing improvements here. We're seeing the improvements. And has the fan base kind of toned down from what happened with Grimsby last week? Yes. Am I going to make a comment about the news that came out about Grimsby and the ineligible player? Here's my news. Yes, whatever, cool. Don't bother. They deserve the win. Yada, yada, yada. Move on from it. There. That's my comment from it. I'm well over it. Whether it was ineligible or they missed it by a minute, yeah, whatever. Just move on from it. United did not play well that game. I don't want to be brought back in, appeal, whatever. Just move forward and enjoy. But Manchester United, now I sidetracked myself because I had to talk about the Grimsby match. And now many fans wanted to continue talking about the Grimsby match, but Amorim and everything since that Grimsby match, the tone has kind of changed a little bit. It's improved, but there's still people there that want Amorim out. There's still going to be, as much as we got the Burnley win, Ruben still has a lot of work to do. And I think during these 2 weeks, he's going to use that work. He's going to work on players. So I think you're going to see hopefully some improvement, some change, but it's going to take time. Everyone's like, we're not seeing anything new with these players. Well, one, it's been 3 games for Manchester United in the Prem. We played Arsenal first. We faltered with Fulham, and we won, but it was an ugly win against Burnley. Like it's like the shots have been like when statistically you're looking at it, the stats are there. The stats show that they have improved, and like as much as stats say one thing, the players dictate another, and that's the one thing too. The confidence, the mental discipline has to keep rising with this club and has to improve, and that's going to take time too. So we're going to be building with this club, and it takes longer than 3 games. It takes longer than 12 games. It takes sometimes longer than a season. We're trying to change. He's trying to change a whole new culture, and it's working. I believe when Sir Alex took over, and I know people are using the basis here, but when Sir Alex took over, he had to change the culture too. It takes time to what we want with success. Pep, Arteta, Klopp, they for way Liverpool is now, the way Man City, yes, you can bring up the boatloads of money. Arteta, people wanted Arteta out after his second season, and he was finishing 8th in the top 10. They wanted him gone. There's T-shirts there. It's going to take time. It is, and I know we're Manchester United, and I put my fingers up as air quotes, but we need the patience. We need to take the time to build and get things right. I don't know why I have to keep repeating this every episode. A fan base should know how this is going to take. And I see Twitter, I see everyone. It's just going to take time. That's basically what it is. Like I know that's the motto. It sounds like it's going to be the motto of this episode, but it's the truth. Time, we can't get to what we want now. You can't expect what we want now after 3 games. Yes, Grimsby said something how mentally weak our squad is. That's what it is. He said how mentally weak they are. And everyone keeps talking about a back 5. It's always been a back 3, ladies and gentlemen. It is just the wingbacks that we have are technically fullbacks, but they're supposed to be playing like wingback. They are wingbacks, but they're defensive players. They're not like Ahmad is a wingback. He goes back. He transitions back, and same with Dorgu. He does play at that wing. He does fit that, but it's just the type of players that we have there that they're not offensively there yet to help move in. We have to get those players there. It's going to take time. So we find the players, the positions. Like he's, again, like I said, he's building everything from scratch. The rubble is there. He's still clearing out the rubble. He's trying to get the foundation. He's trying to get that rubble cleared and get that foundation made. And us as a fan base have to be patient for that. Let him build. So, but yeah, that's the one thing that's going on this week. You have the fallout. You have the people talking about the signings, the sales. You have everyone just like, there's no football, so like, let's just look at what's going on here. Let's just look at the downtime. Let's just look at how Manchester United have still failing and still not being successful, despite it only being 3 games. So give it time. We have a derby. We have Chelsea the week after. It's like, yeah. I'm going to keep repeating myself again and again. This episode is just going to be that song that never ends, just keeps going on and on, my friends. So it's just a matter of how, like, again, we have to be there. So all I ask is this fan base, those that listen to the podcast, please be patient. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen this transfer window that's coming up in January. It was definitely not happening this past summer, and it's not going to be happening next transfer window or their next summer either. So it's going to be a while. But yeah. But yeah, it's this time. It's just nitpick. But again, it's the international break. We're going to see, you're going to hopefully have everyone come back healthy. You're going to have players rested. So I said these 2 weeks are technically great for Cunha and Mount because they can get some rest. Mount, you can probably bring him off the bench for minutes just to get his conditioning back, but he was taken off at half for precautionary reasons. So making sure that he's healthy is good to go. Licha Martinez is potentially going to be back, not this international break, but the following international break, which is set in October. So we're going to potentially have him mid-October, apparently. And the set time date was not until December, but chances are he'll be returning after that international break, but we won't see him do his debut probably till mid-December because he's got to get back into shape. He's got to get back into fitness. But having him back is key as well. And yes, the talk of midfield is the question here. I mentioned Saku Kone. I've mentioned on TikTok and X before about Mazraoui being being an additional midfielder because he can play multiple positions. You can have him out on the wing. He does well with hold and transition. So he would be a potential complement with Bruno because he can cover. So having him there, I know there's talks of Licha, but I think Licha, you're going to have to bring him back to that back three because we're going to need him there. But I think he might be a piece off the bench because we need him healthy. Luke Shaw still needs to continue to be healthy. Like our back three is kind of solidified, but it's going to take time. Now I prefer if we had a proper midfielder, it would be Maz, Yoro, and Delit in the back three with Licha, Maguire, and Shaw there to help, or be the substitutes. I know that would hurt Heaven and Fredrickson, but having those pieces there and those experiences does help the squad. So, and again, the midfield there, but having people like Shaw, having people like Licha come back can free up Mazraoui. It's the truth. There's even, I saw something there about someone mentioning Harry Maguire potentially going to be a suggestion. But I think Harry Maguire should remain with the center D pairing, especially with him and Delit when they're on the field together. They're great together too. So it's all we could do is hope, right? That's all we can do. So, but yeah, let me know which games you're going to be watching this week. I know we had a few today, and then obviously we have more going on the weekend. Each squad is playing 2 during the break, and then hopefully next week we're healthy. I will be back Sunday with a new episode as well. Again, like it is downtime. It is hard to try and do podcasts and try and compete with everyone, trying to get all the information out with everything here. Listen, we can talk as much as we want, but right now it's, what players are we potentially going to be looking at here? The fallout again of not having the midfielder. Amorim frustrated about this transfer. Amorim was talking with this player. Man United was talking with that player. I can repeat everything that's been going on, but you should know already before I even air what's been going on, so it's not really a rebuttal. But listen, as much as I said, they tried to get a midfielder in, but I'm sure some of it was delayed because they have too many mouths to feed in midfield. That's what it is. You have Casemiro, who's going to beg for minutes. It's a World Cup year. Ugarte, who's out on his national team, but is going to be wanting minutes. You have Menu, who's going to want minutes. You have Bruno there, who just doesn't get tired. So those 4 there, you have so many mouths to feed. It's just a matter of trying to make everyone happy. And I think that is why there's no midfielder. Because if they couldn't get one of those 4 gone, or 2 out of those 4 gone, we wouldn't have been getting anyone in. If Gallagher was coming in, one of them was going out. But unfortunately, we couldn't get Casemiro going. He's going to be gone next summer. Ugarte could be moved on next summer. Bruno could be potentially gone next summer. Menu, Collier will be the only 2 that we have, and Saku Kone. So that's 3 midfielders for next summer. We have to get at least another 3 for next summer too. So it's, I know this is a repeat, but that's basically it. It's just we have a lot of mouths to feed, but having this international break does help. I'm not saying injuries are a good thing to have, and they're definitely not because we lose some good players, but having this depth makes it better. If this was Europe, like if we were playing in Europe right now and started having these injuries, this would be a massive cause for concern. It still is a cause for concern to have injuries, but playing European football and then having all these players injured now when you're going for a stretch of games, especially like playing, let's say, 3 times in 7 days, that's brutal. Like, we need this time to heal in between games, so get familiar with how Ruben wants to play. It's just going to be, it's going to take time. Story of the today, it's going to take time. But yeah, listen, I can make speculations about what targets, but you know what targets Man United have gone through. There have been multiple episodes of targets of who they're going to go for, who they are. But yeah, it's downtime. It's downtime. And as I'm getting this podcast more ready for more Manchester United, hopefully as I can build it more and more, we will see that there, where maybe one day I'll be at the level of those channels where their investigative reporting is just great. But I'm doing this for fun. Talking about this, talking about that, so. But yeah. All right. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know in the comments which games you're going to watch. I will be back Sunday. I will probably talk a little bit about the Portugal match that I'll be watching Saturday. Catch up on more Manchester United here if I hear any news, and much more. And again, we're back next week where it is time to prep, get ready for the derby, players healthy, what's the plan going to be, and I will be doing my preview. This is the derby. It's a big matchup. It is. We know how we treat our matchups with Man City. So it's just a matter of what do we find out this week from injuries? What's Cunha going to be like? Are we going to rush him back? Are we going to try and get back Mason Mount as fast as we can? Do we have to be delicate with him? Players that are returning from international duty. How does Ruben manage that? How does the attack look going into City next week? Guess what? You're going to have to tune in next week when it's getting closer to match day. And chances are I will be back probably after Sunday, probably going to aim for Wednesday or Thursday to talk about the Man City derby. So, plus more news as well. But yes, I'll leave it there for today. I will be back Sunday, catching up on more Manchester United news, any updates, plus talk a little bit about international break as well. But yes, enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend as well. And don't forget, like, subscribe, follow, comment on YouTube, Instagram, or YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, as well as Instagram, TikTok, Red Devils Corner Kick Pod, and also RD Corner Kick Pod on X as well. But yeah, once again, enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you guys Sunday. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.